Hey folks, Jason here with another quick music theory tip. This one is a request from my friend Brad, who asked me, what is a turnaround in music? So that's a great question. What I actually played at the beginning of this video is a 4-bar turnaround that you'll hear at the end of a 12-bar blues. But before we get into that specific example, let's just define what a turnaround in music is. So real quick, turnarounds apply not to linear forms of music where there's a very clear beginning, middle, and end, but rather to cyclical forms of music where you're repeating a set form. This is very often in music, a set number of bars set to a specific chord progression over and over and over again. So a 12-bar blues is a great example. You're repeating the same 12-measure chord progression multiple times, and you might add variations to it, but the underlying template, the basic chord progression, or at least basic harmonic structure, remains unchanged. So to show you a turnaround, which a very common application of this in a musical setting is in a 12-bar blues, I'm going to go ahead and play twice through a 12-bar blues form. That means I'm going to do one run through, one cycle, if you will, of the 12-bar form, and then immediately go into the second cycle of that 12-bar form. As I go through this, I'll let you know where the turnaround is. You'll notice that the turnaround, as I'm playing it, creates this sense of movement in the music, this sense of tension and release, these chords that are sort of wrapping up the end of the 12-bar cycle before leading us into the next one. Hence the term turnaround. It's turning around the musician back to the top of the musical form. This is just blues in F, and I'll let you know when the turnaround happens and say the measures as I go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 2, measure 3, measure 5, 6, measure 7. Here's the turnaround. Now here's the top of the form. Here's that turnaround again. Right now, measure 9, measure 10, so that last little bit measures 9, measure 10, measure 11, and of course measure 12, back to measure 1, represents the turnaround in a 12-bar blues. Keep in mind that there are many examples of turnarounds in other settings. There's not really time to cover that in this video, but when you're playing with musicians, just keep in mind that the general concept of a turnaround is we're going back to the top of the form.